In today's lecture, we will walk through some basic computing concepts which are required in bioinformatics. We will start our discussion with data modeling techniques. Basically, we will see three things. What is data model? What are different types of data model? And what are different levels of data model? If I say about the definition of data model, how I can define this? If you see this diagram, there is a cloud shown which basically depicts our real world, which contains many billions of items and entities. So what is our data model? Data model is basically our universe of discourse, which is a smaller part of this real world. And what we do, that universe of discourse is basically subset of reality. It is not the complete world, it is some subset of that complete world. And the other thing is universe of modeled phenomena. So what we are going to model, that would be our universe of modeled phenomena. One of the basic definition of data model can be, it is a formal representation of something that needs to be understood, remembered, communicated, and tested. This something should be from universe of discourse. It cannot be the complete real world. If I go to second definition, it would be, data model represents how a user's reality is organized in terms of objects, properties, relationships, and their properties. If I go to the third definition, it would be collection of concepts that describe the structure of database. So here we have differentiated between objects क्या हैं, properties क्या हैं, और concepts क्या हैं. So what we conclude from here, that basically data model is collection of tools which describe what is data, what is the relationship between data, what are constraints, and what is data semantics. So these three things, data representation, data constraints, and data relationship, they are basic things which were part of DBMS systems also. The fourth things, data semantics, which is related to meaning of some data. It is a new part of data modeling dimension. So now we come to levels of data model. What are different levels of data model where data model is defined? Broadly speaking, there are three different directions. Number one is conceptual data model, then logical, and finally physical data model. आइए इनकी definitions को one by one हम देखते हैं. So conceptual data model. What is conceptual data model? Basically, it is user's perception of the real world. Then it defines highest level relationship between different entities. It includes high level constructs of entities. There are no attributes related to specific entities. And finally, it is very abstract in nature. And finally, what we conclude from all these points is that it is a description of system. What does system do? How it works? No. The other layer of data model is logical data model. So now we are moving towards how dimension rather than what dimension. So what are the main points? They are, it is a formal description of data model. By formal, what we mean, that we will be using some mathematical or computational tools to model this data model. Then it is a fully attributed data model, but it is independent of data management system. What are database management systems? I gave several examples before, like SQL, Oracle, and so on. It includes entities. Entities are basically tables, their attributes, which are columns, and then relationships. Relationships were presented by primary key, foreign key, unique keys. And so what we conclude from logical data model is that it is description how a system will be implemented regardless of DBMS system. हम इसमें ये देखेंगे कि हमने कैसे सिस्टम इंप्लीमेंट करना है, लेकिन विदाउट एनी स्पेसिफिक DBMS सिस्टम. लास्ट लेयर जो डाटा मॉडल की है, दैट वन इज फिजिकल डाटा लेयर. ये लेयर ये बताती है कि डाटा मॉडल किस तरह फिजिकल स्टोरेज उसकी क्या होगी. जब हम फिजिकल स्टोरेज की बात करेंगे तो उसमें हम देखेंगे कि उसका फॉर्मेट क्या होगा, उसका ऑर्डर क्या होगा, और फिजिकल स्टोरेज पाथ क्या होगा. सेकेंडली, हम ये देखते हैं कि इट इज़ टोटली डिपेंडेंट ऑन DBMS सिस्टम्स. यानी कि जो फिजिकल डाटा मॉडल है वो डिपेंड करेगा कि कौन से underlying physical database management systems हैं. How the system will be implemented by the DBMS, that is the main thing. What it includes tables, primary key, columns, validation rules, and access constraints. How we will access that data from DBMS systems.